Zombies! Everyone loves them, until they quickly burned out as a fad. The 2000s were flooded with zombie media to the point where the real sickness was not whatever turns people into the living dead, but the oversaturation of the genre. I never personally cared about the zombie genre myself, outside of getting Yakuza Dead Souls. Yes, I was into the series long before it became cool. And mind you, Dead Souls' poor sales resulted in the series not coming stateside for over 3 years. And the 5th game, when it did come out, was released digital only. And yet I prefer playing Dead Souls over 5 any given day of the week. One big thing with the zombie genre is actually how unimportant the zombies actually are. They are effectively the scenery, a living and active scenery, mind you, but are usually secondary to the main story. A zombie movie is not man versus monster, it is typically man versus man. And additionally, while some movies and games will characterize the Horde, such as 28 Days Later and Left 4 Dead, you could tell they'd be good because they have them numbers. But a lot of the zombie slop movies in the 2000s just didn't really do anything interesting with the Horde in the first place. It's just a case of, look, zombies. Zombies, look. There are zombies. Look. A zombie. Watch out. Zombies. Look. News! I am not reviewing something from that era. Bad news, I'm reviewing something from way back then that has a lot of the trappings of the zombie slop genre. Actually, this film was actually shot before The Night of the Living Dead, but it didn't make it to theaters until over 5 years later. Today's film is I Eat Your Skin! Also known by the horribly uncreated title of Zombies. So, without further ado, welcome to RiffView. Sit back, get yourself a nice drink, some popcorn, or whatever you like, and get ready for the mockery to begin. Today's film was written, produced, and directed by a man by the name of Del Tinney. He worked on Broadway previously before moving on to doing exploitation, as one is naturally happens. And his most notable piece of work? The Horror of Party Beach. Yep, an alumni from Mystery Science Theater 3000. Same guy, also done in black and white. And that movie came out the same year as Dr. Strangelove, by the by.
My skull!
Now, in my last video, I talked about how the next thing I was going to review was going to be racist. And, well, boy. You might be misled into thinking this is going to be the usual old movie that relies on ethnic stereotypes, a gross misunderstanding of a foreign culture, and white guys being casually racist. And you're not wrong. But trust me, they found the perfect little cherry to put on top. But for now, let's get past this prolonged dance scene, we'll be coming back to it anyway in the midpoint of the movie, and move on to meet our main character in Miami.
He looked up and there she stood on the balcony as nature meant her to be. The blood began beating in his temples. Her eyes were blue, black, gorgeous beads of beautiful ebony. They called, demanded him to come to her. He was up the stairs in a few bounds, and before he knew it, he was standing in her doorway.
Well, go on, go on.
Yes, please. I need to hear more of the lamest story in the world.
Let's see. Oh, yes. There he stood, framed in the doorway. She was on the bed. Her breath was coming heavy now in short, abrupt bursts. The veins in his throbbing temples were beating as if they would burst.
Ah, yes, our main character, who survives the entire film. Unfortunately.
Where have you been? I've been trying to get in touch with you since I came back.
Well, to tell you the truth, old buddy, I was holed up in my room all this time working on this, great story.
You haven't turned in one word in 3 months. Where is this great story?
Oh, up here, old guardian of my mental treasures, up here.
Yep, he's a real crappy author, ain't he? As a writer myself, I am deeply offended by this portrayal of writers. I hereby ask for this man to be kicked in the nutsack a few dozen times. And in case you didn't already hate this guy, here's another reason coming right up.
Are you? 5 seconds.
Oh no, there's my husband.
Ah, what a lovely movie.
Hey, Doug, did you say something about a job? Cool it, buddy, cool it.
And to add further credence to our character being a heel, he proceeds to bully the man he just cucked. Haha, what a scamp. Let's all laugh at the guy he just cucked. Why did I choose to make this image? He's gonna go home and murder his wife. We're not even 10 minutes into the movie. Our horrid hero is played by William Joyce. No, not the writer and concept designer for Toy Story. Or the Nazi. This one of Joyce's only big claim to fame is that he got picked over Jimmy Dean to play Johnny Guitar in a TV movie pilot that apparently never sold. It's rather telling that his Wikipedia picture is a still from this very movie. But hey, he played Lifeguard Captain in Lifeguard. You know, the movie that is the predecessor to Baywatch, so I guess that's something. Back to the movie. Our hero, cough cough, agent has picked him up so they can send him out to an island to do some writing. As you do. Your writer ain't writing? Pack him in a box and ship him out. And where to exactly?
The more that I heard what was happening on Voodoo Island.
Voodoo Island.
Yes, that's the name of the island.
Yes, that would have been the name of our movie, if there wasn't a Boris Karloff movie with the same name at least 10 years prior.
Lord Carrington has set up a foundation to perform experiments with the snake venom. There's been a famous scientist there for years trying to find a cure for cancer.
Interesting, but not interesting enough, sorry.
Curing cancer with snake venom is not interesting enough to me. I'm more interested in hot babes. You got any of those?
There is one important thing I did leave out.
What is that?
Girls.
Girls?
Virgin natives. Just waiting for some sophisticated swinger like you to come along and pluck them off their tropical vines. Yeah.
So wait, are you telling me that I can Christopher Columbus the natives? Sign me up! I'm all into this now! Oh, and as a bit of a side note.
Sorry.
Now wait, let me finish. I haven't gotten to the most important part yet. These voodooists actually perform human sacrifices. And that there's some superstition about an army of walking dead. I presume you would call them zombies.
But hey, whatever. Let's ship on out to Voodoo Island. And don't worry, they packed the comic relief. I apologize for this woman's voice.
I'm right in the middle of the greatest canasta game ever. I've got Sophie into me for $3.42, and the beach boy walks by and says that this smo calls and says pack for a week and to meet him at the airport. Now give her the explanation.
Now, here's the weird thing. This character's name is Coral, like beach coral.
Mr. Bentley, this is my wife, Coral.
But a lot of the characters like to call her Carl.
Now, Coral, calm down.
Coral and Duncan Fairchild, this is Janine and Dr. August Billadu.
Maybe it's just the substandard audio mixing, but it really does sound like they're saying Carl a few times. Now, I have never met anyone named Coral in my life, but is that a thing? A woman out there named Coral. Do people call you Carl for short? And in case you thought the movie wasn't just racist, well, here's a scene of Duncan the agent forcing his wife to come on this plane trip with him to this voodoo death cult island.
Okay, big mouth, just get in the plane.
But
Just get in the plane.
don't talk to me like that.
If you don't get in the plane this very minute, I'm going to cancel every one of your charge accounts in every department store, couture, salon in this country. And in Paris, and in London.
Well, you don't have to get dirty about it.
In.
And we're off to Voodoo Island, where nothing will go wrong this entire trip.
You think you can make it?
We'll make a go at it, sir.
Well, switch over to the emergency tank.
We are on the emergency tank now, sir. Here, let me take over. Maybe I can make the beach.
Do you have any flying experience? Of course, I'm an author. I have written various books about pilots having sex in the cockpit. Ah, good, an exit. We'll get off here. Unfortunately, they land safely on the beach.
Well, I spotted a glimpse of a house up at that end of the island.
Hey, would you bring me a banana or coconut or something? Well, I got hungry with excitement.
You could do with a little dieting, honey.
Well, get a load of talking tubbo.
Don't you just love a marriage built upon spite for the partner? For the young people in the audience, this is before they invented marriage for love.
Enrico, you better give me my gun.
We're on an island we know nothing about, and I'm heading towards a house. Give me my murder tool. The white male plods forward into the unknown with nothing but his lack of wits and a firearm to shoot anything he does not like. He is sweating profusely for someone who has been moving for less than 2 minutes and needs to regularly mop himself. He hopes to find a mate in this muggy environment, and he finds one. Okay. Dude, I like to watch. I like to watch. Yep, ladies and gentlemen, we have our very first zombie, and this is how pretty much all the zombies look like. Like somebody smeared crap all over their face. And this is one of the generally better looking ones. And here's a shot from later in the movie, and this guy just looks like he got a mud bath and he's wearing orange slices on his eyes instead of cucumber. They kind of put in more effort to achieve a cheaper result than just simply wearing like white paint on their face. Must be fun having to plaster your face, peel it off when the shot is done, so you want to breathe normally again, and then the director goes, whoops, had the lens cap on, retake, and then right back to being literally faced. And because zombies are naturally attracted to naked ladies going skinny dipping in the middle of a swamp, our hero, whose name by the way is Tom, not that you really care that much, leaps into action. He reaches for his gun, but then decides to swim on out. My gun will work a lot better if all the bullets are soggy. The editing here gets kind of a bit weird because it looks like at first they're going towards each other, but then she turns around and then starts swinging in the direction. Not that I blame her. What? A girl running away from me? That's never happened before.
Buenos dias, senor.
Buenos dias, senor.
We've been forced to land on the beach. Can you tell me where I can get some help?
Before you ask, the only words in Spanish I ever use are bueno, dias, señor, margarita, and Olivia a tu marido. Oh, señor, that's filthy! Now, I'm showing you this freeze frame of the Mexican character, as it's one of the very few times where you can actually see his face. I bring this up because here's an entire conversation with a Mexican character that's where he is totally off screen the entire time.
What are those drums?
Ah, señor, they are voodoo drums. Desde que usted ha llegado. En esta noche va a haber un sacrificio.
Sacrifice?
Sí, un sacrificio por Don Bela Hueda.
What's going to be sacrificed?
Yo no sé, señor. No puedo hacer más.
Hell, in this shot, Tom is actually pushing the guy's hat down just to make sure we can't see his face, as if this was a stage direction given to him. This actually reminds me of a moment from Mystery Science Theater 3000.
All citizens must walk with their heads downcast. Thank you.
It doesn't really matter in the long run of things. After Tom fails to use his ranged weapon as a melee weapon, because that's how you're supposed to use them after all, I was taught this in school, the guy gets his head cut off. I like that he finished his scream after getting murdered. That's some real dedication. And no, I did not miss the fact that Tom fired 2 bullets, but there are 4 wounds in the zombie. Tom is such an amazing writer, he's capable of firing 2 bullets with 1 trigger pull. He is that amazing, wow! Huh. Oh crap, it's the fuzz! The savior of our dickweed character is Charles Bentley. He is the main villain in the movie. You will not forget about him, just like the movie will. He is played by Walter Coy, one of the 3 actors that has a Wikipedia article. Oh, and he still makes racist comments, just in case you thought he may be a bit different.
We have to get to him before his own people do. They got him first. I hate to think what they do to him. You see, Mr. Harris, these are very simple people. They understand only that deed, not the cause. Deranged mind, a homicidal maniac. It's quite beyond their comprehension.
Yeah, these simple people might want to punish the murderer. They may want to, I don't know, execute him, or maybe even lock him up. After swinging on by back to the plane to pick everyone up, they head to the house on a clearly marked road. Why didn't Tom follow the road to the house? What, is he stupid or something? Anyway, they meet up with the housemaid, and we get this wonderful line of dialogue.
Thank you, honey. Oh, Mr. Bentley, what a lovely house you have. It's so tropical.
Wait a second, that's not all she said.
Thank you, honey. Oh, Mr. Bentley, what a lovely house you have. It's so tropical, or something.
Yes, that is correct. There are actually 2 different cuts of this movie. The film that I'm reviewing, and this is what I'm showing clips from, is I Eat Your Skin from 1971. It runs for an hour and 18 minutes. However, the original version of the movie, Zombie, actually runs for an hour and 32. Now, you're not missing out on much, if anything at all. There's just some more scenes of, like, the agent and his wife bickering.
Oh, Carl, what are all these?
Well, honey, you said to pack for a week.
Enrico, put them back. You can take 2, just 2, and no dogs.
But...
No buts, just 2.
And like one scene of Tom gunning down some innocent snakes. In case you had a shred of hope this guy was actually someone likable and is not a walking mound of fecal matter. Thank you to PizzaFlix for uploading the original 1964 version, and literally the only one I can find on the internet. Here's another important shot they removed from I Eat Your Skin, the shot of the main scientist guy picking his head out.
Secret closet mustache guy, he's secret closet mustache guy.
Oh, Dunk. Tom, look. What a glorious tropical sunset.
It's overcast. Yeah, it's black and white, but I can't see the damn sun. What are you talking about? So after a long day of ruining marriages, running about tropical islands while ignoring the main road, and failing to stop a single zombie, our main character attends a house party and, hey, what do you know? He runs into Cryptosporidium Girl! And proceeds to creep on her, because his natural state is being a big, giant creep.
What part of heaven did you fly down from?
Our main character has the exact same level of charisma as Anakin Skywalker, age 9.
Are you an angel?
This is our heroine, the unlucky duck of a dame that has to get all cuddly with Mr. Cannot Keep It in His Pants. She's played by Heather Hewitt, who is notable for being on the cover of a Playboy magazine that same year this film was shot. Gee, imagine that. Going from doing a photo shoot for one of the top magazines in the world to doing a film that was probably seen by less people than the price of the said magazine at that time.
I see you at least mix an excellent drink, Mr. Harris. What is it?
A Rob Roy.
Wow, he made a Rob Roy with just 1 bottle and no garish. He must be a truly great writer if he can magic up a cocktail with just 1 bottle. We then meet the heroine's father, secret closeted mustache guy. He is a scientist trying to cure cancer. And then he will do something at the end of the movie that will make him even more famous than that.
What are those drums? That fisherman told me this afternoon that there would be a sacrifice tonight.
Sacrifice?
Sacrifice? I never knew her. But Tish. Huh, that'll be really good in my next book. Can I steal that? And jumping back to the 64 version, another reminder that our main character is a sexual predator.
Can I trust him? No.
Run! Get out of there! I mean, hell, the only thing Thomas talked about is how awesome he is, the voodoo death cult on the island that you live on, oh, and the beheading murderer wandering about. But, sure, go on a walk with him, at night. Oh, look, you got attacked. I suppose that happens. But hey, I guess the zombie makes for better company. And yes, our main character just took out a zombie with one punch to the face. And then he finds a torch on the side of the road, just a single torch, mind you, a very teeny tiny little flame of a torch at that. And then proceeds to very lightly take out the other zombies. Just a little tiny tap. A love tap. These zombies suck so much that a zombie journal to come in and send them home.
Well, these men or creatures or things or whatever they are murdered a man this afternoon and tried to kill me.
Me, the most important man in the world.
Now, I don't pretend to know the subtlety of these people's religion. I don't think any outsider does. Here. This book was written by one of the foremost experts on voodooism in the world.
I'm too stupid to know anything about this religion. But here, have a book where it explains everything about this religion.
Dr. Jacobson had been treating the natives for a disease which they'd been stricken with for some time. So many of them were dying that they were willing to try anything. All the young virgins of the tribe had been sacrificed to their god, Dumbella Owida. The only girl left was Dr. Jacobson's blonde daughter. One night, the son of the tribe's chief was stricken with the disease. The chief had the blonde girl sacrificed and his son recovered. The fact that the doctor had treated the boy, of course, is the thing that saved his life. But the tribe believed that the sacrifice of the young blonde girl had saved the boy's life.
Ah, going with the white goddess approach towards religion, huh? Yep, if a white woman with blonde hair ends up in a society that's full of people with darker skin, then that must mean she's either a goddess or a sacrifice. The job market is just terrible in those areas. We should really start a petition to support those blonde white women for being stereotyped. Now, I know a lot of you are getting really tired of me commenting on Tom being a sexual predator, but here's a scene of him sneaking into Janine's room at night while she's sleeping off a zombie attack, and they play horror music.
Please go.
And then they have sex. She has known this man for less than a day. She has known this man for less than half of a day. We then cut over to a dance scene. The same one shown in the beginning of I Eat Your Skin, but here's a bit of a little funny thing. In Eat, the scene runs for 3 minutes and 13 seconds. But in the original Zombies version, 6 minutes and 55 seconds. Twice as long and twice as pointless! This was just something that movies back in the day just did. They would have this interminably long dance sequence for realistically one reason, to extend the runtime. The only thing worth talking about in this scene is the Voodoo General guy. He's played by Vanoy Aikens, the last of the actors as a Wikipedia article. This man actually worked with Catherine Dunham, the Queen Mother of Black Dance. And, keeping this movie's topic, Catherine Dunham actually wrote an anthropological book about Vodou. You know, the actual voodoo. Pfft, she's not as good as me, though. Why, yes, our hero is writing in the great outdoors. The jungle outdoors. Shirtless. After being attacked by zombies on multiple occasions now. After having sex. So he is very, very sweaty. Mosquitoes love sweat. So, effectively, Tom is speedrunning malaria.
Oh, I quite agree. I've instructed Enrico to locate gas for the aeroplane.
Yeah, they'll just find some gas on the middle of the jungle. There's a plant that grows gas, right?
Last night you said you'd show me Dr. Billadou's laboratory.
I'm afraid I'll have to declare the laboratory out of bounds. If you'll excuse me, I'll get back to work.
And just like that, we can now say goodbye to Charles Bentley, as he is now effectively leaving the film. Now yes, he is the Ongon, the head of the cult, the guy with the beaded face curtain, but from this point on, he's effectively an off-screen villain. In fact, most of his evil plans has to be explained away by another character. And because Charles was also the villain, this means that a majority of his dialogue previously was just red herring. Well, Tom has had enough. He's gonna pack his stuff and go home. But first, he needs to go pick up his girlfriend's father. He would not do this at all.
What is this place?
I don't know. I've never seen it before.
These are symbols that are used in voodoo sacrificial rites.
I know they're voodoo symbols because I read a book on this. Wait, no, sorry. I meant I wrote a book on this. I am an expert on everything.
What was that?
Don't worry. My penis solves all problems. Yeah, I agree.
I don't know, but I know you're coming with us this afternoon. Where's your father's laboratory?
This way.
Wait, she just said, I have never been here before.
I don't know. I've never seen it before.
But she knows what the laboratory is, and the cult circle's on the way to the lab. She was leading Tom here in the first place. How did she not come by here before? Well, I guess that's the reason as to why she and Tom really hit it off. They both like roaming the jungle in random directions.
Come on. Hurry.
Wait, Tom! I know him. He's my friend.
But he's a guy! You can't have guy friends! You're my girl!
I'm sorry, Miss Janine. I wanted to warn you. You must leave the island.
Why must she leave the island?
Tom, what have you been saying again?
Now, I don't know what's going on in this island, but I do know you're in serious trouble. I want you to leave with us tomorrow afternoon at low tide.
I don't like to seem inhospitable, but in view of what's happened, I think it might be best for you and your friends to leave the island as soon as possible.
Oh, I quite agree. No, you stay here with Coral. And be ready to leave at 3 o'clock this afternoon. I've got Enrico loading the plane with gas, and we'll try to take off in the wet sand.
You'll be happy to know that I've given our conversation of last night a great deal of thought. I've decided to ask Father if he'll leave the island with us. That is, if you want us to come.
Oh, you know I did.
It's only okay when I say it. Anyone else says it, they're in the wrong. I know this. I'm a writer. After Deadmeat leaves, they head to the laboratory and we see some amazing snake handling action by Dr. Ape-Man. Jeez, if he gets any electricity going through him, his arms are going up in flames. And it's clearly not the Doctor's own arms, as we can see in the following shot. Ah yes, that's how you cure cancer. You turn people into zombies. Guess that's one way you can beat it. You can't die by cancer if you're already dead.
Mr. Harris, I thought I left word that I wasn't to be disturbed.
Father, please. I've never seen you like this before. Tom and I came to ask you to leave the island with us. You've been wanting to leave for a long time. Now's your chance.
Come with us, Doctor. I have reason to believe your daughter will be in serious trouble if you stay on here.
Please leave at once. Janine, you go to the house and go to your room.
Father,
do as I say!
No, he looks regretful here, but trust me when I say he's regretting not slapping her harder.
It's late. We're going to have to leave if we're going to catch that tide.
Planes and boats are the same thing, really. May I take your head, sir? So, after learning nothing about the zombies...
What's going on in here? What are you people up to? It's best that you don't know.
Our hero finally gets around to the idea of escaping the island. If only he brought it up earlier.
You girls stay here. Enrico, Doug, come with me.
You girls stay perfectly still and distract the zombies for us. Thanks. They didn't even hear the bird lady screeching? I guess Tom really did mean to distract the zombies with the girls. Am I human or am I a dancer? Wait, most of my credits are dancing uncredited! Damn you, the killers! And now, the most creative death in the film.
Mr. Harris, look out!
I love it. I love how slow it all is. I love how easy preventable this could all be. Like, just simply walking over and just pushing the zombie over, that would have been more than enough to stop the zombie. I mean, hey, punching the zombie worked out well, so just give it a nice big push. Also, I like the fact that this light aircraft's propeller is more than enough to make the dynamite go kaboom. Actually, slanting the footage, it looks like the explosion took place inside of the aircraft itself. I guess there was a bomb on the airplane. Yeah, I think that's Tom's bomb. And now, an obligatory Team Fortress 2 joke.
Hey! Come here, lad! Kaboom!
Well, no time to mourn the death of a Latino man. Time to casually jog away from the casually jogging zombies. And man, these zombies are actually fairly athletic. They're actually capable of scaling the side of this rocky lake bed. But they can't swim apparently. Seems to be a bit of a problem for your zombies to not swim when you're on an island. Did we get them? I can't see anything through this mask. Oh yeah, the other Latino male in this movie. Yep, he's gotta die as well. Oh yeah, the zombie process. Because we didn't see it 6 minutes ago, no. And as foreshadowed by the villain early on, they're not gonna sacrifice the blonde. The young blonde, not the old one still shrieking like a bird. Man, these voodoo death cults sure are ageist. Meanwhile, back to our cough cough hero, cough cough. He and his agent have been swimming around in the water for several hours now, given the fact they were planning to fly in at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and now there's looping cricket noises.
Where'd that boat come from?
Doesn't Poseidon, god of the sea, birth boats in a big public display like a male seahorse or something? Let's see. 2 weird and wet idiots are coming up to my boat. I should use my shotgun to poke them. Oh crap! Shotguns are for wimps. I'm gonna get a real weapon.
What are you gonna do with a flare gun?
I don't know, but it's better than nothing.
I'm gonna puff and sting all the zombies. But Tom, ever since Jungle Inferno altered how the air blast sends people back, the flare gun is much harder to use. Keep in mind that a shotgun has severe stopping power, it can hold more than 1 shell at a time, and a flare gun might cause some severe burns. But hey, Tom is the main character, so he can just shoot off 1 flare and the entire island is caught on fire.
I don't know, but we haven't got much choice.
That might happen, actually. One thing that was cut from the EAT version was a scene of Tom's agent finding an alternate entrance to the laboratory and then knocking out the assistant. I guess they just want to get to the dancing girl scenes a little bit earlier. No straight male and no gay lady is gonna have a problem with that. Our 2 heroes grab some disguises that just happen to be nearby, go to the party, but who's this? I lost access to my closet, so now I'm just secret bush guy. I miss my closet. Now, this dance sequence is not cut down in the EAT version. Probably due to the fact there's some momentum to the scene, like there's an actual story going on here, like things are happening. Well, hey, it took him to the last 15 minutes of the film to get around to doing something like that. Better late than never, right? Alright kids, I'm cutting the birthday cake. Say how much you want. And rather surprisingly, it's not the lousy protagonist saving the day, but Secret Bush Guy. But don't worry, Tom is going to remind you who the villain is in case you haven't already figured it out yet.
God, it's badly.
Well, main villain is dead, got a call after you, time to leave. But first, time to play with some knobs. Would you believe that turning these knobs is actually racist? Oh, you'll see.
What happened? What's that noise? It's the end of Voodoo Island and Charles Pepe's dream of conquering the Earth with an indestructible army.
There, I explained the backstory to you. Now, get to the boat! Another board scene cut from the Eat version, the poodles swimming onto the boat. I know, the all-important characters of the poodles that were hardly mentioned in this review. I do apologize for not bringing them up previously, they are that important. But this does cause a bit of a continuity issue, not just the fact that Carl goes from suddenly not holding a dog to now holding a dog. See, because it's a zombie movie, the boat stalls, and the poodles returning was a bridge between them fixing it and then finally getting out of port. But they did leave in this weird, awkward shot of the scientist's daughter. Now it's time for the final battle. Well, Charles is dead, so the final fight should be zombie general guy. No, it's just two random guys. Two random, not zombie guys. Who then proceed to lightly stab the scientist in the back. Just a little love tap, a little tiny tap with a knife.
Sorry, old man, no room, no room.
Now, comes the time I've been hinting at this entire review. Sure, up to this point, the film has only been mildly racist, a product of its time. Not excusable by any means, mind you. Just a poorly written misunderstanding of a foreign culture. How about a war crime? No more island! No more island of natives. The scientist guy trying to discover the cure for cancer just committed genocide.
But wait! There's more!
I was getting no place with the injections of the animals, so I started using natives as human guinea pigs. And instead of getting closer to a cure for cancer, the bombarded snake venom was setting up a curious reaction in the body tissues, making the subject devoid of will, a human vegetable.
Yep, not only did he violate the natives' rights by tricking them into doing an illegal experiments, but he then blew them all up. He killed everybody. He just killed, let's say, a few thousand people, possibly more. This technically makes him the biggest serial killer in human history. Insane despots, do take note. And all this to kill off, like, what, 10 zombies? And I doubt the cult had everyone on the island underneath their thumb. Remember the fisherman who got his head cut off? He probably had a family and friends. They were probably living peacefully on the island. Hey, boom! They're dead now! All to kill a bunch of easily dispatchable zombies. And to think, he only needed, like, what, less than 10 seconds of knob turning in order to make this thing happen? He had the ability to blow up the entire island in less than 10 seconds. He was totally ready to cut and run at a moment's notice. And now, we're supposed to feel sorry for him. The man that just killed children. But at least he'll explain the villain's plot.
3 natives died because of my futile attempts. When he found the results of my experiment, Bentley became obsessed with the idea of creating an army of these unfortunate people. And he threatened to expose me to the authorities unless I helped him with this mad scheme.
And I do not buy a second of what he's saying. We only have his word for it. He's telling us about how Charles had a plan to take over the entire world with zombies. Suicide zombies at that. And the only person who's telling this is the guy who allowed this to happen, who caused all this to happen. And the only reason why this happened is because Charles Bentley was blackmailing him over going to the authorities. The scientist was more concerned about being caught than doing the right thing. Which tells me that the scientist would have continued on the experiments if he wasn't being blackmailed. At least I die forgiven for my crimes, and I shall go to heaven. No thanks. Here you go, buddy. Hey, thanks, pal. You know how much I love vanilla. And so our film ends with Tom writing a book about the adventure, no doubt painting himself as the greatest hero that has ever lived. And he gets it on with the scientist's hot daughter, a relationship that I know will crumble the very moment he sees a hotter woman. And Then they're all arrested and tried at the Hog. The end. Well, that sucked. Hey, guess it's about time to do my usual serious sentencing. The most interesting element about I Eat Your Skin is the name of the movie, a banal adventure only remembered for the sleazy protagonist and the blatant and present racism. The title is also a damn lie, as not a sliver of skin is eaten once. Also, I just realized the scientist guy's ideal method of curing cancer is to go to a random island and inject random people with snake venom. I guess that's one way you can cure cancer. But even though I'm not a scientist guy myself, if I were to work on a cure for the greatest disease in human history, I would test it on people with cancer? Did all the natives on the island have cancer? Well, that's about it for me. I think next time I'll do a film that's hasn't been reviewed on MS3K or RiffTrax before. I should probably go out of that wheelhouse. Before I go, always remember, if you buy a pencil in the mail, make sure to write your next letter with it. Otherwise, the beast. Adios, y'all.